What's up, Hero Nation? Carlos Amaro back at it again with a leg day video. So this series is an introduction to becoming Kratos. So basically, C2E2 is around the corner. I didn't plan on going, but my friend said he'd buy my ticket, so I'm like, hey, okay, fine. I wasn't sure who I was gonna cosplay. I wanted to, go as Kratos last year, but I had got done doing my first form competition and I was a little too small. So this year, you guys obviously know I've been bulking, so my friend was like, hey, you might as well go as Kratos, and I wasn't really sure because, as you guys know, I'm bulking. I didn't have abs, so I'm carrying a little bit more weight than Kratos. But hey, you know what? I'm like, fine. I made the decision. So this series is basically just cutting up just a slight bit, just at least to I keep making the joke just to get some abs, get some definition. This video was probably about 2 weeks ago. Oh, no, not even 2 weeks. It's been a while. But basically, this is just an introduction to how I'm gonna be cutting up and everything. So I always start my leg workouts with calves, just because by the time I get done training my legs, I'm so fatigued that sometimes I just kind of skip them, and I really just rather not do that. So I always like to start with the seated calf raises. I always, as you guys can see, I'm going down trying to get a maximum stretch, and then I try to come up and obviously squeeze as much as possible. I always notice that a lot of people, they'll always have the inner part of their calf is very developed, so I always try to aim for the sides because, you want to be able to hit the whole calf and not just one part. So right here, you guys can't really see all the way, but my toes are pointing outward just a slight bit. And of course, same thing, I'm still trying to make sure that I'm getting a really good stretch. The stretch, again, like I always say, is one of the most important parts of just bodybuilding. Without a stretch, you can't really destroy muscle to the fullest. You have to have the mentality of stretch and contract, stretch and contract. You want to destroy the muscle as much as possible. So with both of these, I kind of keep them around 20 to 15 reps. And I like to do a lot of volume, a lot of drop sets, normally towards the end of the exercises. So as you guys can see, I was struggling really hard because this was like the first day of my diet, and lower carbs than what my body's used to. I'm burning through my food pretty quickly, and I'm hungry all the time, and it's a little fun just because since you can't really feel the muscle all the way, sometimes it's a new challenge compared to like when you have those higher carbs. You can pretty much go into the gym and just destroy some weight. But like I believe that when you have those lower carbs and you like kind of already start fatiguing, because for me, if anybody knows me, when I train, I prefer to go like just all the way, and basically with legs always, because my legs are the most horrible part on me. I might always say, but I have developed them very well throughout the last like 2 years. So something that I always give credit to is starting with the leg extension. With this exercise in particular, I'm hitting full legs. Usually I kind of just separate my days as quad day or hamstrings and glutes. I just wanted to hit a full leg day just because I hadn't hit hamstrings in a while, and I was focusing a lot on quads. But since I'm cutting, I'm not necessarily growing as quickly, so I'm trying to make sure that I just have that fullness into all the muscles. So normally with the leg extensions and with the seated leg curls, I'm still hitting pretty high numbers, just for the simple fact that I like to fill the muscle up with a lot of blood, so that when I go into my other movements, I can feel each muscle. It'll be like extremely easy to feel those muscles. I always like to do that with just all the muscles pretty much. Like I always like to start off with something that's just going to warm up either my back, my shoulders, especially chest, but like leg extensions are always my go-to, just because it helps lubricate the joints, and it helps protect knees, and then just fill it up so that when you go into movements like this, the leg press, you're already like able to feel which muscles you want to use. So here on the leg press, I'm doing a closer stance, and I'm trying to focus not just on the way up, but on the way down. On the way down, what a lot of people do is they kind of go a little too fast, and then they don't go as low, and that was my problem for a very long time. So right now, I'm just trying to really focus on how I feel on the way down. And if you guys see right here, I'm really just trying to feel for where I'm placing and putting all that pressure. So I'm trying to put it all on the upper part of my quads and on the sides. So I had done like about 4 sets. This was going to be my 5th set. Usually just aiming for 10 to 12 reps. And this was probably the heaviest that I've gone on leg press in a very long time. I want to say it's because of the video, maybe some extra motivation, but I don't know. I was feeling very strong this day. So as you guys can see, I'm taking my time. Before, I used to kind of hit the reps really, really quickly by going like 1, 2, 3. But when I'm dealing with heavier weight, and especially the fact that I'm trying to focus so much, I kind of just take my time, feel the muscle on the way down, and then contract it on the way up. Take my time and then contract. That way, I feel a little bit better with that. Some days I can hit the reps a little bit faster, but not today. But here, really important, before I forget, is make sure that whenever you're doing the leg press, any type of pressing movement, that you place all the pressure into your heels. What a lot of people will do is they'll go and put all the pressure, or they'll just kind of just move. So naturally what people do is they'll be on their toes. And by doing that, that actually just puts a whole lot of pressure into the knee. By putting all the pressure into your heels, you're allowing it to go into the muscle. And then a very important thing about the leg press is making sure that you never really lock your legs, just with the leg press mainly. Just because then you got to think however much weight this would be. I wouldn't really know. Normally I just put on the weight, but it will go into your knees. And this is usually how I like to feel for all of my exercises, that by the time that I get done with just a few sets, that I'm on the floor. And honestly, to me, it's a sign of victory, to be honest. Right after that, I wanted to go into some squats, but wasn't exactly feeling it. So I'm like, okay, how can I flush a lot of blood into my legs, get a really nasty burn without having to lift too heavy? Well, walking lunges. Walking lunges is one of my favorites. I always get a nasty pump from into my quads right after doing these. What I do for me is, normally people will say, oh, don't let your knees pass your toes. For me personally, because I've watched a lot of Lee Priest, he actually would allow his knee to go pretty far forward. It wouldn't necessarily pass his toes, but it would go pretty far forward. And what I do is that, when I did it, I'm like, okay, so why does he do it? You always got to see why certain bodybuilders or certain people do certain things. And when I did it, I actually just felt a lot more of the pressure go into the quad. My problem for a lot of years was that my glutes take a lot of the pressure from me personally. Years of squats, my legs would not grow, but my glutes did. Leg press, same thing. So I'm really trying to learn, okay, how can I really apply more pressure into the certain areas without my glutes getting into there? So by me moving forward, I pay attention, I take my time. As you guys can see, it's not because my legs are tired, but it's because I'm trying to focus, is that I allow my knee to slightly move forward so that it can go and get that stretch, and then I'm taking my time and contracting it on the way up. That's just the way that I prefer to do it. Some bodybuilders can do it a lot quicker than me. For me, if I can't feel the muscle, I don't really like to do anything. I don't like to lift weight just cause. That's just me personally. And for those people who don't have amazing glutes or amazing any body part, honestly, you should always just take your time. Always take your time. Sometimes we want to be like Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler in the gym, but I mean, those guys have been training for years. They're one with their muscles. And if you're not like that and you're just beginning, or you're kind of like, like me, to where you're still learning a lot of different things, really you should just be taking your time. So like, if you guys see, I go side to side a little bit too. That way, personally for me, I feel it a lot more on the sides of my quads. The reason why I prefer to have it all on the sides of my quads is because I don't want to just have nice cut quads or nice cut legs. I want nice big legs. So hitting the sides, that's where you're going to get a lot of that a lot of the illusion that your legs are really huge. It's called a quad sweep, and so that is what I've been working on a lot. I've seen a lot of development with it, so I'm still trying to work on that even into this cut. So this is if you guys are having a little bit of trouble with like trying to develop your quads, try going side to side just a slight bit. You can't really notice it all the way, but if you guys can see, I am going side to side, and as you guys can see, I don't have much weight. I'll see dudes lunging with 75s, I'm not that guy. Maybe I'm just a little bit weaker, but that's just, that's just not me. I just can't focus that way. And then one of my favorite finishers, or even sometimes one of my favorite starters, is sissy squats. I used to be able to do these on the Smith machines, but the Smith machines here in particular, I don't really like to use all the way. So with these basically destroy everything. I always say they destroy everything of what a squat is supposed to be. So you are on your toes, if you guys can see. So I'm on my toes, and if you guys can see, I'm trying to basically sit down on my heels, and purposely I'm allowing my knees to pass my toes by doing this and by taking my time. And if you guys see, I don't have any weight, because what you want to do is make sure that you're, if you don't have strong knees at all, you want to take your time with these. You do not need a lot of weight at all. If you guys see, I'm just really trying to take my time at the bottom, apply all the pressure into right at the teardrop muscle, and also on the side. So I'm trying to take my time, put all the pressure in there, find the stretch as much as possible, because if you guys can't find the stretch on the way down, then kind of coming up, you guys will feel it in your knees. This is an exercise that is very easy to hurt yourself if you guys don't pay attention to what you're doing. So again, if you guys see, I take my time, and sometimes you guys will see that I kind of pause at the bottom. That's because I've been doing these for so long, so I kind of like to just put a lot more blood into there, especially after if I do 5 reps and I don't really feel it, keeping all that pressure there kind of helps you to hit the muscle and have a better mind muscle connection. So this is basically one that I believe kind of helps build up muscle, but somebody ended up telling me this is what cuts muscle. But I remember in the past when I used to do these a lot more, these actually gave me a lot more size in my quad. So I would say try them out. If you guys go to Planet Fitness, which a lot of you guys do, I would say try it on the Smith machine. Really take your time, try to feel it out, see if you like it, and if anything, you guys can always just comment on these videos and let me know, like, hey, this didn't work, what do you think I could have done wrong? And then basically to end it all, because my quads were shot by the end of this, is that I just did one more hamstring exercise, just the laying down leg curls, about 4 sets of 15, and that's pretty much it. That's all I did. This is just a basic leg day for me. This was nothing too fancy. It was just trying to get my body into the groove of the diet and everything. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys got any questions, comment, please let me know. I will be putting out a back day video. That's the next video, and let me know what else you guys want to see. This is Carlos Amaro signing out.